All right. Welcome. Good evening. This is the controlled demolition of the American Empire. My name is Jesse Jett. I am joined tonight and from here on out by my co-conspirator, the Bong Feather himself, my good friend Indy of Indy Left News. And yeah, welcome to episode one. We're
How you
doing it
doing,
live.
everybody? Wow, I'm just so excited to be here. We're live. I'm like, wow, we're live. We really are live and doing this thing. Hopefully
This is
everybody
it.
can hear us.
Smoke 'em if you got them.
Our
If you
mic
don't,
should
go
be
get them.
good. Smoke them if you got them, because we're gonna have some fun. The format
Yep.
of this show, Jesse reached out to me a few weeks ago, and he said, I'm thinking about the idea for my first show, for my show for INN, because he just joined the network a few weeks ago, and I was like, uh, I want to do like a musical variety type of show where I play some songs, and we do some interpretation on the lyrics, and we maybe do some interaction with chat. Maybe we'll have a guest here and there, I'm like, that sounds awesome, but got any other ideas like that? That's the first idea, but at the same time, we sounds awesome. We ran with it, and then he
Right?
says, and then he's like, so he's like, and I want you to be the host. I'm like, yeah. First of all, thank you, and yes, and second of all,
Oh, of
wow.
course.
And here we are.
We just
So
need to make an alternative bong feather that has Ed McMahon's face kind of crudely photoshopped onto it, like still with the waddle, still have the comb, but Ed McMahon's face just plastered right over it.
awesome. Awesome. Yep. So everybody's saying that we look great and we sound great, and I'm so thrilled to see that. And we've already got some
That's all I
people
need
out
to
in
know.
chat, and we've got Reef out in chat, and of course we've got Cynic out in chat. We want to say hello to all the fans
Well,
and all
hi.
the friends. DJ Comatose, our friend out and comrade out
Hi.
there, and E Heller, Lord bless
Awesome.
America, Bacon's out there, and we've got Let's Go with Reefer After Dark, man. Sup, fam? I know that you've been on Reefer After
Thank
Dark
you,
on
guys.
INN a couple times, so
Oh
so
yeah.
we've
Yeah.
got fam in chat already,
And
and
what fair shout to Reefer. I mentioned today that a few elements of the show would be equally pilfered from what VH1 storytellers,
mhm.
um, the copious reefage of Reefer After Dark, and the Q&A portion of Inside the Actor Studio. And so I will encourage Reef. I will encourage our all of our friends in chat and Indy. Smoke them if you got them. Like I
Uh,
said, let's keep it as lighthearted as the topics will allow us to be while we're here.
I'll
So
have to channel my
by all
my.
means,
Oh,
this is your green light.
goodness, nice smoker if you got him. Koi
Okay,
Contrarian,
we're
A Parade, Free Assange.
officially christened. Welcome to episode one of American Tradition. This is Better Living Through Propaganda, which I think we've seen the full effects of today. If you've scrolled around Twitter and seen everybody actually coming out in droves to blame Susan Sarandon for the current state of Roe v. Wade, um, which when I wrote the Susan Sarandon song the other day, I was like, I could go farther, but I want to just leave it where it is. And then I was like, maybe I didn't go far enough because it's not obviously satire to some people. Plenty of people were just like right there thinking I was serious about Susan. So even pinning wildfires on her wasn't enough. So it really just shows maybe not even the depth of propaganda, but just how powerful Susan Sarandon really is. So
Absolutely. We all hail the powerful Susan.
yep. Did I just see Misty pop in there
We
too?
did see Misty and is that Eric from the A for
Awesome.
A's in there again? We got DJ Comatose. We've already got a half dozen at least watching, plus some people on the Rockfin.
Awesome.
We are live on Rockfin as well.
Thank you guys. Seriously.
Fred Edward,
I got
great
new
to see
candles for
you.
the occasion, so we're doing it to the nines tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a great time. Again, so excited to be doing this live, and we're doing it live, and we're going to see how this goes, and I can't wait, man. I've got this guy's lyrics in my head constantly. I'm like repeating little lyrics, and then I type it back to him. It's like nobody really does that. It's like little love poems in a
And that's
way.
why, dude, that's why I wanted you to do this. I've said like quoting my own lyrics back to me is totally my love language, and Indy does it. And I was like, dude, if I'm doing the show and let's say there's no one in chat, I mean, not that I don't mind just hanging out and playing guitar by myself, but it's nice to play for someone that you feel like genuinely appreciates what you do and wouldn't be bored just listening to you share fun facts and, inside shit. And I mean, depending on the song, if there's a lot of little references that I don't know if everyone picked up on, or some of them were just for me, I'm gonna try to flesh those out. If there's a sample that's worth reverse engineering, we'll break down the song. I'll bring the tracks up and play little things, and we're just gonna, yeah, however much meat there is on something's bones, we're gonna pick it clean. So
And we'll be able to share a screen side by side. We got a couple things set up. We're gonna have some guests set up down the road as we do different topics. Jesse was talking about. We're gonna be able to set up for that. So this is just we're gonna get the air in the tires and take it out for a test drive today and see how this goes. But I'm so excited. We're gonna do this every other week, every other Tuesday night. We're gonna get together 10 o'clock. That's the plan. And again, thank you to everybody who's here and for supporting us and for giving us a shot.
It means a lot. It really does.
Can't wait.
And just so I can get everybody else in on it too, like, huge thank you to you, dude, because you put so much into making this happen. And for Reef with helping you, all you guys have put a ton of time into making this a reality. And huge shout out to Greg too, Big Mad Crab, because the cover art he made is just better than I could have pictured it. Like, it's so fun and such a great kind of trolling in and of itself of the potential viewer base. So I'm all about that.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, man. Again, it's a pleasure to see this come to life and help bring a show for you to live stream and to bring your music out there to everybody else in the space that hasn't really heard it yet. And I saw a couple people today that were seeing the news and stuff. They're like, I never really heard this guy. Even today, Reef was running it when Colin was live on the steps of the Supreme Court. By the way, shout out to Colin for doing that, going out in the field.
Yeah.
Reef for streaming that and
that
running
that
earlier on INN, Indie
really
News Network. Everybody go to YouTube.com.
And Afeni delivered some fucking fire as always.
Fire speech,
yeah.
amazing. And we got the Banks sisters, but actually Ashley Banks is the coolest Banks sister, and Reef keeps getting it wrong. It's not Hillary, and it's definitely not Carlton. Okay, but Ashley is the cool Banks sister. I'm a big Ashley fan. So yeah, but Courtney, thanks for coming. Human Love Solidarity. Everybody's here. Yeah, we're all excited to hear some tunes. I definitely am, and I wanna shut up and let you play some music and entertain and have some fun and educate and share and go through some lyrics. I don't know. I don't know. Well, you just play and we'll figure it out.
I think we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, let's get into one. And I'm gonna have my sample for this on hand. I trust everybody here. I can divulge the sample. This is from the I'm not sure the year, late 70s, I believe. After they did the How the Grinch Stole Christmas animated special back in the day, they did a Halloween one, which was significantly less successful. And one day I'd watch the regular Grinch on YouTube with my son, and the next video starts up and it's the Grinch Halloween. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And we get a little ways in, and it's mediocre at best. But there's this little boy, and he meets the Grinch, and he's talking to him. And at one point, he takes off his glasses and he cleans them. And he says, sir, I like you much better with my glasses off. And that felt to me like such a good embodiment of everybody that was holding their nose and voting for Joe Biden or getting ready to and convincing themselves it was still a step in the right direction. And I love the idea of appreciating someone when you can't see them for what they really are. And so I had to put that in this. This is off of Inauguration Gift. This is Lockheed Martin OnlyFans.
I was born with the curse of foresight. 'Cause I knew Joe was only gonna represent the war side. And that said, I just came to fight. You can keep the ore flight. Save the surprise and the gasp when the shadow of the fascist have cast is on your doorstep in the glow of your porch light. And save the surprise when the grid goes down and we go underground to lick wounds in the gloom of a torchlight. While up in the sky, a blimp glides by with a sign like New Year's 2022. Brought to you jointly by Pfizer and Coors Light. While the centrists observe from a comfortable courtside, right in the thick of the action behind a partition. We're in a morbid position, in a plague of evictions, born a comorbid condition of the cancer of wealth. I fantasize that I cancel myself. Hands on your head, throw your best laid plans in the well. There are no more answers, questions go back on the shelf. All Joe's donors, a quick show of hands. How many of you sub to the Lockheed Martin OnlyFans? How many are loyalist patrons of the Raytheon Patreon? Occupy Iraq and send $1 million off into the great beyond. Cool yourself with a safety on. True to yourself in as much as you dutifully spew out a mucus of QAnon. But you can't convince me the Capitol wasn't surrendered with every intention of digging us deeper into this treacherous webbing of censorship, ebbing your speech and dissension so you can't hold Biden accountable, not in his mentions and not in the streets. Just know to the end that Joe will defend the elite. Joe won't embarrass McConnell, but Joe ain't embarrassed if all of your children are hungry and weak. Too hungry to speak, too hungry to stand, they just lie at his feet. Joe's fresh out of empathy, fresh out of policy, but he'd love to know, what was your favorite ice cream flavor to eat? Back when you used to eat. No, I guess the road isn't rocky for people who thought we were free. They'll believe what they read and Joe's here to lull them to sleep. Counting us down by the dozens, the culling of gullible sheep led to the slaughter by media tyrants and government thieves. These are the leeches who stubbornly suck where there's nothing to bleed. These are the tumors that force us to crawl on our knees. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08, and one was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08, and one was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. And that is Lockheed Martin OnlyFans.
Dude. I gotta mute my mic while I'm doing that because I'm like jamming along with it, and I want everybody to hear it. I'm sorry to make you laugh. You almost just spit your stuff out, I'm sure. But that's just incredible. My first question on that was it your house that was foreclosed in 08 and condemned in 16, or is that just like a fictional? Like I've always wondered, honestly.
Just for me, that was the like the 1-2 punch of when we started to spiral into collapse, like as a country. 08 being the recession,
Right.
when we really saw just how little of a shit they gave about us, how willing they were to let people just become, homeless in droves, and seeing the bubble burst, and then the swell of hope and then plummet of Obama for everyone that was hopeful with Obama. And then 2016, I mean, being 2016. So I just I just wanted to use those dates because to me those were just significant in kind of watermarks for our plummet. Like those are just a couple. If this was a collective house of a country, the foreclosure and then ultimate condemning to me, those fit. So
right, okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. We definitely have
a
some
fun little fact there. When I made that beat originally, I felt like it was too close to Convention, which is essentially the first song on this record that has the samples of Joe Biden saying, that's the secret, because it's almost the same tempo and that same kind of slow lumbering beat to it. But I loved it too much, and I was like, you know what? I like the idea of closing it out with something that's structured the same. So I opened it with a line that kind of worked off of it. The first line of this being, "I guess I was born with the curse of foresight." The first line of the other song is, "I guess in the end that it's just a crapshoot. Who denounces the true you versus who backs you?" And then right into Joe Biden again, just like almost every song on that record.
It is kind of like I hate you, Joe Biden.
Yeah, yeah.
In every way, shape,
So
and form.
I'm excited. I have to do something on New Year's Eve this year so I can play this song and get in my New Year's 2022.
So
Not,
that it's brought
and
to you jointly by Pfizer and Coors Light. That's
yep,
right. That's
yep.
constantly rotating in my head. That's one of the lines
I've
that.
seen you quote that line a few times. I do. I've when I've shared this song, I usually tag Pfizer, Coors Light, Lockheed Martin, and OnlyFans.
That's outstanding. I love it. Love it. So much. So yeah, we got some people in chat. I know you can kind of see it. I don't know how closely you can read it, but Bang Sister saying hits hard for real. DJ Comatose, it's a good one. They're gonna share the stream out too. Which please everybody share the stream. Get people into watching this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Of course, Warren, play some Freebird, man. Of course, we've got to have Uncle Warren clowning and having fun and
Fun fact: when I used to play gigs, you would always get someone that asked for Freebird, and I would play the first like 40 seconds of Freebird, and then I would Rickroll them and go right into "Never Gonna Give You Up" by Rick Astley.
Oh, that's
and then play all of
outstanding.
that.
Oh my goodness.
Rickroll
Good
never
night, Misty.
dies.
Misty's got to head to bed. She'll catch the replay. We all love you. Night, Misty.
Bye, Misty. Thank you for
Get some
coming.
rest. Thanks for everything. All right. So, what do we got? I know you had another special piece that you were going to play for our second one tonight.
Yeah. Let's see here. And gosh, this will be the roll credits moment because this is American tradition.
Right.
And
Well, we're not going to roll
before I
credits
do
just yet, but
right
not
before
tonight.
I do this, I want to give a shout out to a really awesome podcast called Polyrical that featured some of my music and one night had me like as their featured artist. And the stuff this guy said about me and my music was so meaningful. And to this day, like if ever there are some days where I'm like, fuck, what am I doing? Is it worth it? Do I want to keep doing this? I have listened to that and it feels like some sort of like career retrospective after a long 20 or 30 year performance span. And it's really very moving every time. Really hits home that like it's what I've done has connected with people that actually get it. And it's huge for me too, because as you all know, you're not necessarily surrounded by like-minded people where you are. And even if you have a couple, you could always use more, especially right now. So big shout out to Polyrical, which I'm actually in the process of sampling a quote of his from that episode to use on the Grift on my next record. So
we are sponsored by
to.
JJ Bibbs, and I believe see this is where Reef's getting mad at me because see he's getting mad at me because
Now
we
you know
don't
what?
have the ticker on, and now we'll have to turn on our ticker for a minute. It says that we're sponsored by JJ Bibbs. Of course, I put it in. All right, you happy, Reef? We got a ticker. Nice and slow.
I'm trying to find if I can make you large and not see myself, because I would love to see chat a little bigger.
Oh, I wonder if you
my
can
eyesight
right click and hide self view, maybe, or
Oh. Nope.
All right, we'll have to figure that one out next time.
Oh well.
I'll read you some chats though, and I can try to make this a little bigger for you. How about this?
Oh, we're cooking with gas now.
Any better?
I sure am.
Any better to see chat? Not really. No,
If I'm being honest, no. But I still love you.
Well, that's okay. Trying to fix it. Nina Turner has conceded.
I really thought that that AOC endorsement was gonna kick it into high gear.
Yeah, I don't think it really had the quite intended effect, did it?
Well, the nice thing is that means I got a fat Hillary Clinton check coming my way. Okay. Yeah, this is another one off of Inauguration Gift, and one that I played at the Medicare for All March in Columbus. And that whole thing for me was just a big eureka moment of like, I've played live my whole life. I've never done such political material, these songs, for a crowd, especially a crowd that knew what they were in for and was on board with me. And that was just, God, I would do that every day if I could. So yeah, I'll never get to play this and not think of that. This is American tradition, and this is American tradition.
Although he's not the slickest vulture to have ever picked a carcass, he's just the kind to catch us at our darkest for an easy harvest. Just the kind to serve us to the markets and see you lose your home before his donors let him bargain. Give a cop the go-ahead to shoot you in the leg before they let you harm a target. And being an American, I love watching garbage, but it's overload. And this is not my first rodeo. I don't drop mics, but I choke slam podiums, and so we go. Little bit of Troy, a little Roanoke. Karma, come and hold me close. Tell me how you told me, so I'm overboard, blowing out. I'm Holy Ghost and stolen shroud, soaked in old petroleum and calling down the rolling clouds. I slowly moved my mouth and formed the only sound I knew, and it was always out of tune, but it's the ugly fucking truth, and now it's flowing out. I break the banks, flood the basin. I transcribed a translation, spoken out of Morse code and straight into capsaicin. And God, I hope it suits your station, cause it's my last release that won't require proof of vaccination. I got all my rates adjusted for infection and inflation, bloating and decay and all the perks of radiation. We see the virus for the profits, not the patients. Honey, look at all these records set for all these corporations. When COVID started spreading, they were all the side of celebration. Now they got one record quarter in the bag, and now they're all impatient. They would rather have a total tag than see a mouth to feed, or worse, a kid in need of education. And honey, only money's making that distinction. You know they're gonna thin the herd straight through starvation to the brink of our extinction. Capitalism favors innovation, and it is never at a loss for ways to make us hate our liberation and cloud our vision. Somewhere in America, a man with no money in the bank is on his way to City Hall to go complain about proposals for a soup kitchen. And he will never see that tiny bit of irony that floats in all the tragedy of his position. And he's not the only one, it's an American tradition. And so it goes in endless perpetuity. We've never deviated from the mission. I sat out the ritual. I listened from the sand, held my head between my hands, and muttered dying would be easy. Life's an everyday decision. And I'm not the only one, it's an American tradition. I bet you thought that Trump would go to jail and Joe would listen. And you're not the only one, it's an American tradition. I bet you thought that Trump would go to jail and Joe would listen. And you're not the only one, it's an American tradition.
I love how you like crack yourself up in the middle of your songs. It's absolutely great. How you
It's
try
so
to finish a
frustrating.
song.
I can either grit my teeth until they chip, or I can just laugh, because there's only a couple options left with all this bullshit going on.
Right? How you try to finish a song, and I know you said like we were talking the other night about it, and you were saying like that. Sometimes people are like, "Are you laughing or crying?" You're like, "I'm kind of doing a little bit of both," and like, "It sounds like that."
Right
it's like,
on that line, buddy. Yep.
I don't know which one I'm doing, but most of the time.
Yep.
So, oh goodness, like, that's sin. There's cynic. Thank you.
All of the above.
This American
Unstable.
tradition. Yep, that's right. This is by Jesse from his album Inauguration Gift. Thank you for putting that up there. Charlie Mack, welcome. Extra Booyah, welcoming everybody. Everybody's here. We're having a great time. This is awesome. This is exactly what we wanted it to be. And again, I didn't care if nobody watched, anybody watched, whatever it was. Like anyone who wants to watch, great. But if this is for an audience of one, I'm freaking tickled.
Right.
So,
thank you, guys.
Yeah, dude, it's
for real.
This is fantastic. Again, so and I hear a little Everlast in that guitar riff. I don't know if that's like gonna bum you out, but like,
you know, I've never heard that before, and I will take that. I will take that compliment for sure. That's there's like, someone that you don't hear a lot of people throw back to, but dude, that's fucking Whitey Ford was a killer record.
Yeah, and I'm just talking about even though the guitar riff, what it's like, boom 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 boom.
And you know what's funny, and Cynic will say it too, because she when she hears something that's out of tune, it doesn't sit right. And for me, for the most part, yes, but there are times where something's a little off and it just has so much character that I fall in love with it. It's like I don't know, the broken toy the misfit toy that you're like, come here, you little bastard. I mean, Great Experiment, that guitar is not in tune. And Ghost on the Lawn, that is definitely not in tune. But both of those, it fit to me. Like I hate how overprocessed and wet and clean modern production is. And I started recording on my phone out of necessity, and once I kind of got mixing a bit better and faster at the process, I'm like, I would rather it sound unfinished and lo-fi than to me it almost goes against the urgency of what I'm talking about if I spend months and months and months perfecting each song and getting it like flawless and spending money to get someone to mix it and stuff. That seems like a waste of time. And I would rather, and God, I love everyone for enjoys it in spite of that, because I know it could be a lot cleaner. In fact, I saw someone once share one of my songs, and he was like, "You don't get the best sound quality with Jesse Jett, but the songs are fire." I was like, I'll take that compliment. I don't aim to achieve the best sound quality, but I aim to achieve a fire song. So mission accomplished.
Okay, well, maybe one of these days we can get you in a studio and align both of those things. Get you a fire song with some sound quality. Maybe one of these days. I mean, I don't know if it would ruin the grittiness of it and the rawness, because it's really funny, because somebody was talking to me about starting a pot, and this guy for a year plus, and I don't want to call him out, but he's a good kid, and he's just got all these dreams and aspirations about starting a podcast and starting a YouTube show, and he's always saying, "I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start a gamer stream on Twitch, and I got my channel all set up." But he never actually like goes live, and I tell him, "Well, just dude, just turn on the thing and go live, and just do it, man. Like, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to hurt anybody, and you're only going to get better as you go along. So just jump in, man." And I just love that you do that, and the way that you can spin some of this stuff out just blows my mind. I know it blows some of these other folks away. You know, Lucy was, again, you know, we're going to do the Bernie one next week, I think, but Lucy was talking about, you know, the Bernie one, how within a day, I mean, you had just not just a couple of paragraphs, but like an entire soliloquy. It felt like an ode, you know.
I didn't realize how much I was holding back on Bernie until she was like, "Could you write something about Bernie 2024?" And I thought about it for a minute. And I was like, "Yes, I can."
Yes, by all means, I can. He's been inspired. Yep. So yes, Derek, that was an apple that you saw. JJ Bibbs has patented the apple bong.
It's kind of my signature move. I mean, not that I don't have, some little pieces around, but
it is the signature move, as well as writing protest songs about Joe Biden, and using amazing Hamilton type speed, as they call it. They refer to him as the Hamilton of the left, the Lin-Manuel Miranda without the shit livery.
Oh God.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with this show.
I don't know if I've told you this story before. Some people in chat may have heard this, but I was making an emergency Taco Bell run one night, and I come back, pulling into the driveway. I look through the window and I see the TV in the living room is on and Hamilton is on. And I was like, "Oh my God, my wife is watching Hamilton. Like, I'm going to have to go in and have the talk, you know?" And by the time I got out of the car and went in the house, she was already watching something else. And I was like, "Oh, you turned off Hamilton?" She was like, "Oh my God, that was terrible. That was so fucking terrible." She made it like 30 seconds into
Wow.
She was like, "I mean, I heard it was bad, but I didn't think it could be that bad, but it's that." What's great, what a lot of people might not know, is when Lin-Manuel Miranda had that idea and told some people about it, they all told him, "Oh, don't do that. Like, don't whitewash history and make like a hip hop musical." And he was like, "Well, I'm gonna do it anyway." And some lady, I wish I knew her name, made a play that did really well, that was literally about all these other playwrights telling him not to do it. Like, about him shopping this idea around and everyone being like, "Oh, that's a really bad idea." And of course it becomes a success anyway, but
I'm gonna run headfirst into that 14 Tonys later and the biggest smash success you can imagine. And again, you know what? People told me to set up an independent network of channels that makes no money and does nothing. What the hell are you doing? What are you wasting your time for? Well, guess what? This is what I'm wasting my time for. And hell yeah, it's worth every minute of it. They said it couldn't be done, but here we are doing a live Jesse Jett show. How about that shit?
We're doing it live.
We are doing it live. I can't love it more. This is awesome.
So if you want to bring up for everybody, we're gonna get into a little spoken word. We're gonna do autopilot.
Autopilot we got right there, and then what we will do is blow this up.
I figured it would be nice for spoken word pieces to have the text up for everyone, and we'll see how.
No, not with Notepad. I want to open with Google Docs. There we go. And then what we're going
So
to
this
do,
piece, I love to switch perspective randomly. I noticed that early on in my years, and I just kind of leaned into it hard. So at a certain point in this, I go from critiquing liberals for swallowing the bait, swallowing the propaganda, regurgitating it back up, and I switch to the perspective of a liberal, eating it and acknowledging it. And it was certainly a fun place to write from. Not something I could do a whole lot, because even then it's hard not to be self-deprecating and self-loathing, as you should be. But
Okay,
yeah,
this is
this
weird. I don't know why I'm having. It's like giving me this weird. Did you do this in Word? Maybe.
No, this is off of like notes on my phone.
It's got like
iPhone
some kind of
notes,
weird. Oh, it's Apple Notes. Oh, Apple
Yeah.
Notes to Google
It's
Drive
heavily encrypted is what it is.
weird stuff. Hold on, I can fix this. Okay,
I've got some pretty
just gonna
intense
make a new
security
one.
measures.
I'm just gonna make a new doc and drop this bad boy in there, and now we're good to go.
Look
See
at
that?
Mr.
Modern
Wizard.
problems require modern solutions, as our friend Dave Chappelle once said a long time ago. Okay, American tradition it is. And now what I'm going to do is flip to our...
Oh, sorry, autopilot.
Oh, am I on the wrong document?
Sorry.
Am I on the wrong
Sorry,
one?
I'm the worst.
Is this AT?
Sorry, yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, all right, let's go back to me and
we can
Jesse.
Do that again if you want.
No, we can do this one. Autopilot. Is that it? That's Red Pilled. There's Lockheed. Liberals. AT. Is that at the top? Oh, no. Must be at the bottom.
Autopilot, Liberals Lament.
Oh, Liberals Lament. Oh, I see. There it is. Okay, open with this thing, and it's going to probably mess up. Yep, sure enough. That's okay. See, we're prepared this time.
He is. It's muscle memory at this point.
Right? So, and now we're just going to make this bigger. And we will...
Chat's still with us. Faithful, dear, beloved
blow
chat.
it up. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out and for putting up with this and tolerating me dealing with this. Okie doke. Now we've got something to share, finally. All right. Autopilot it is.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So.
Yeah, let's get into it. This is me getting to speak from the liberal perspective a little bit. From the warped mind of a Joe Biden supporter. This is Autopilot, the Liberals' Lament. Now, this might just be the last song before I'm silent. A kamikaze autopilot. An awful lot of hate in my heart and a propensity for kindness. Adrift in an ocean of centrists and all of the rest of the otherwise eyeless. And I know the instinct to lower one's gaze in the hope of escape is ancestral and timeless. But you need to know that the binds that detain us in no way define us. May everywhere you lay your feet be the battleground. Anywhere you keep the fight in your heart, honey, that's where the fight is. The force of our will is worth more than their might is. The cold touch of steel is worth more than the touch of the Midas. And they can dig canyons or craters or gulfs, but they cannot divide us. We are the poor and the huddled, forever denied until forced into violence. But quell your excitement. The dark mass of clouds seen amassing for war on your placid horizon are born of the toxins of white men, who see themselves more as the gods moving mountains and speaking in lightning than actual human devices. Manifest destiny, narcissist energy, war pigs in crisis. And endlessly, each will keep funding their own little personal ISIS. Each will keep feeding delusions of grandeur and masculine righteousness. Each will pour gas on our hopes and then strike up the match of divisiveness. Broadcast it right in our homes and our phones, and the service is free, because for them to see all of the poison take hold is elite level pricelessness. It's timeless as oligarchs feeding you mindlessness. So right, this is one of the times that I suddenly wished I was sightless, as I listen lifeless to liberals praising our brightest defenders of Western invasion. Praising the people defending a flag that has flown over craters of peaceful and sovereign nations, bombed off the face of creation. And all to spread something that we call democracy, mockingly, probably, honestly. We come to starve out your colonies, clear out your properties, claim your resources, and set up a government covered in puppet string. Tied to our global agenda and ripe for the summoning.
This is how we keep policing the desperate, knowing we foster their suffering. This is the mark of the beast of America. Pull yourself out of the gutter by only the straps of your debt, sharpen your hustle, and build you some character. Break down your body to enter the lottery. Set your sights right on the luxe, comfy life of a senator, something that's really worth coveting. Because down in the streets, it's a storefront morgue. The sheets are boards and they reek through the coverings. And I'm not saying the sky is falling, I'm screaming the heavens are plummeting. Came for the catalyst, stayed for the dread and that hideous trumpeting. Came for a glimpse of the spirit of war, covered in gore and speaking in gluttonies. A chorus at once both familiar and otherly, shatter my solace while soothing me motherly, mindlessly touch on a hyacinth crumbling under the dirt to the earth to the worst of discoveries. I came for the cavernous, hideous trumpeting. I stayed until I didn't mind, then stayed until I found it comforting. I stayed till the gore was a medal of valor, and all of the war crimes were human and humbling. I stayed until I was defending the caging of children and calling dementia stuttering. Stayed until I was a big fan of access and cautiously skeptic when asked if our healthcare was something our government ought to be covering. Until I was completely complicit in whitewashing immigrant sterilization, refugee separations. I'd stayed until I swore that I still saw justice in all of this bigoted bludgeoning. Not just eugenics parading as something communal in service and properly functioning. Not just eugenics you passively swallow like Xanax when pitched by your favorite brands and your most trusted companies. Not us insisting that progress is Congress collectively stumbling. Not just the Democrats holding the Senate, the House, and the ball and intentionally fumbling. Not just our leadership throwing the fight when it's not their lives on the line, it's our kids on the mat and they're taking a pummeling. Because the hearts of the greedy weep not for the needy, they just pump funds for their own refunneling. And they burrow in their wealth like a corpse worm tunneling, stomach full of money, but they'll never see the sun again. It's really kind of funny when you think about it. Then again, it's really so abhorrent, I'm on stun again. Mouth agape, my eyes glaze. The drool is positively puddling. The taste of dirt is fresh and newly earthen on my tongue again. And I am running through a meadow from the truth of who I voted for. And God, the sun is shining, but the thunderstorms are rumbling. Built back better, didn't stay to see it tumbling. That is autopilot.
Damn, man. Wow. I
like
asked
I
you,
said, smoke if you got him.
I asked you a while back, how long does it take you to write something like this? I mean, I know the Bernie thing took you like a morning, effectively a few hours, but like this, first of all, to make it rhyme to begin with and make it all fit, and to just, I want to get into the head of a guy who writes a song like that or writes a piece like that.
First of all, just as an overall rhyming, I have such a hard time not writing in rhyme. When I start writing a line, my brain it's hard to turn off. Like they just start going. And that kind of became the fun of it, was once I'd have all those, it's like how long can I go and wander away from that rhyme and still come back to it, to where you almost forget there's a rhyme scheme until you hear a word that's obviously part of that rhyme scheme, and it like barely holds together. For some people, like God, when the Ken Klippenstein song blew up and got out of hand, that was the first thing people were criticizing, other than Hamilton tone. They were saying, like, these words don't even rhyme, and they were looking for a rhyme like every other word. And if you look at rhyme placement in verses, you have a primary and a secondary rhyme, and that's kind of the fun of it, is letting that one dangle out as long as you can and play around with the second one and come back to that other one. And once I did that a few times, I was just like, you know what, I like this, and why not just kind of, there were a lot of things that I early on decided I'm not going to like shy away from. Even the tone of my voice, I could put on some other kind of affectation and try to sound different, but it wouldn't sound genuine. That's the last thing I want. To get back to your question, a lot of those pieces, it's really rare that I don't finish something in one go. In fact, I used to think that if I didn't, then it wasn't meant to be. And more recently, like I'll come back, kind of write something and then build on it. But usually it's at work. Autopilot was one of them. I'd be operating machine or driving the forklift and just kind of start writing a few lines at a time in my head. Usually in the first few hours of work. By the time I was on lunch, I would be kind of looking back at what I got. And it's crazy because I'll read it, and you can ask Misty too. Plenty of times that I would come on Facts on the Ground or Bitch and read a piece was not just my first time reading it online and sharing it on a stream. It was my first time reading it for myself all the way through. Like I would write it and look back at it, but the first time I actually like performed it and like read it to myself out loud would be when I did it on, on a stream that night. But there were plenty of times I would write something like, shit, I don't want to sit on this. I gotta come and like read this tonight. And I would message Misty and she'd be like, fuck it, let's do it. 9:00, let's go.
She's amazing. So, I mean, yeah, I was like, wait, they're doing another one? And like, she's like, he's inspired. I'm going live. I love it. God bless her for that. God bless her for so
Seriously.
much.
It's not like she doesn't have a full schedule, you know, but I would always say, now, if it's not a good night, if it's not convenient, she'd be like, fuck you. No, we're doing it.
Apparently, Reef is saying that they are, they're blaming Susan for the Roe v. Wade thing. So it's.
Oh, I know. There. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that song. So again, I didn't think that they would be foolish enough to go after Susan for this one, but it's a lot easier than blaming the people that you lick the boots of on a daily basis.
Oh, dare you, Susan.
And you know what? I have a song that I've never, like, I put on Twitter a while back when I wrote it, but I haven't put it on a record or anything. It's called Voting for Spite. And I did consider in the 2020 election writing in Jill Stein just so I could say I did, just to piss everybody off. And I ended up voting Green Party. I am voting for Jill Stein in 2024. I will tell you that now. I will stand by that. If they give me a ballot to cast in 2024, I'm writing in Jill Stein.
Determined. I get it, man.
I love someone had fucking RBG's face on the hot dog suit guy meme saying we're all trying to find out who did this. I lost it.
Oh my God.
Again, you know, I mean, I don't have to tell our viewers because we have such an intelligent and good-looking demographic and viewer base, but this wasn't any one person. This was the whole system. This is just a fucking fundraising ploy. If they wanted to do something either way, they would have done it a long time ago. This is just, you know, I think it was Erica, white trash electrician socialist Erica,
Nice.
who said that in the first like 6 hours after that news broke, she got like a dozen emails from Democrats asking for money for that purpose. So yeah, obviously this is, you know, this is just Ukraine's kind of dwindling down and that's falling apart. And so all of a sudden it's just, hey, over here.
Nancy's texting me like right now. No, I'm kidding. I did get one yesterday, and I responded in kind, and I got an email too, and I was not terribly kind either. But hey, they're gonna send it to me. They're gonna get responses, and you know, people are like, don't respond like that because it's just some staffer or whatever. You know what? How many times do they have to know not to send that crap to us already? Like, how many times are you gonna get trolled before you realize? Like, get it off the list.
I enjoy it.
Oh no! Oh goodness gracious!
It's too great with me. I have a lot of energy.
Yes, we know. We know. Oh, we got another soundboard guy. Here we go. But But shout out to Nancy for being our on our intro music for INN, which Jesse of course sampled because he's the sample king.
And Nancy, you've heard it. What did you think of it?
I like it better than anything else.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Of course she would. Yes, naturally.
If I ever put a big expenditure into the show, it won't be a new mic. It'll be a Nancy Pelosi soundboard. I'll just have on hand.
We'll just get you a stream deck for that. We're
good. We have fun here. So Susan, catching a lot of flack. And I wrote this. I haven't shared it a whole lot today, or like at least I haven't tried to connect it to Roe v. Wade via hashtag, because she's already catching enough shit. And at some point, for a lot of people, it seemed like hard to separate the satire from the reality, even though I'm pinning wildfires on her. But yeah, had I only known what was a few days away, I might have included an extra line or two in this. All right, this is our Susan Sarandon song. It's called "How Could You, Susan." I remember well the golden age, 2015, feeling like the world would be okay. So Susan came along, and just to suit her selfish needs, she went and tanked the Hillary campaign. So you can go thank Susan for those nightmare years of Trump. You can thank her when he wins in 24. And if I had the chance, I'd ask why she won't cancel debt, and why she made inflation simply soar. I'd say, how could you, Susan, just throw us to the wolves? And why'd you let those wildfires burn? Why'd you make Joe Biden take back every single promise he made back when he still had votes to earn? How could you condemn us to a ruling fascist hand? And how much did they pay you for your part in Putin's plan? How could you destroy us with such reckless, cold abandon, Miss Sarandon? How could you? And on the album version, there will be a couple minutes of silence that I'll just be sitting and shaking my head. Just, That's it.
Reckless, cold abandon, Miss Sarandon. That's just how many words rhyme with Sarandon? I'm sure that Jesse has come up with just about every one of them, because it's not the only song that he's written. Well, you can definitely say Brandon also, so we can do a Let's Go Brandon and Susan Sarandon. We can do that. There's all kinds of, or branding, and there's all kinds of words and things that you can go with that, and anything with an ing you can kind of truncate. Duran. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, we're gonna have some fun. I still got it. Next, what we're gonna do, and what I would like to do at some point is have you ever heard of a Twitch streamer by the name of Very Handsome Billy? You're a musician, so you probably have, but yes. He's from New Zealand, and once in a while, Billy plays music 7 nights a week. He's an amazing Twitch streamer. I absolutely adore him. He plays by ear. He will play just about anything that you ask him to play. And once in a while, because he plays every instrument, he will assemble a collection, and he will play a song, learn how to play a song, play every instrument for it, and then assemble the thing, arrange it, and produce it so that you can hear it by the end of the show. And it's wonderful to hear it. I don't know if that's something that you ever wanted to do, tried to do, or cable. That would be so fucking cool to hear and see live. I love watching his process. I could set up my Bose speaker and post behind me,
and hook the iPad to that and make something. Someone could give me a sample and we could spend the episode making a piece out of that sample. That would be fun. So yeah.
Right? That would be a lot of fun. And maybe we get a
We gotta-
reef, we get someone like Reef or Crab, and we kind of do a collab even. I mean, that'd be interesting.
That would be fun. Everybody brings a political clip to the table of some interview or something, and we piece them all together and make
Oh
a
my
song out
God.
of it.
That's great. So I think the only one we have left tonight is Red Pilled, which is actually my
It is.
favorite. And my personal favorite.
This song was originally a lot shorter, and I considered it done. And where did it stop? Right in the middle. It's a blue pill mindset that spent 2020 making dance beats. That was going to be the end of the song, and it was going to be just the piano bit and nothing else. And I kept listening to that as I was mixing it, and I was like, God, I just want this fucking Ringo Starr drum solo, and then guitar and like a slide solo and like a whole thing. I just want to go full Beatles with it. And I was like, I gotta. I sat there for like a day or two with it, and I was like, oh, I have to do this. And pieced together that drum solo, which was a bitch on GarageBand. That was a nightmare. And then once I did recorded that slide solo cramped up in my car, but it worked. And yeah, that's one of my favorite pieces. It's like if I have a group that's never heard my stuff before and I'm playing one song for them, it would be Red Pilled.
I feel this song so much. I really do. I feel this song so much because, all of us that are in this world that really live around normies all day and can think back to when we were watching TV and kind of chilling out, but maybe getting angry a little bit, but not realizing exactly how it's all been set up to pacify you and put you to sleep and have you sitting exactly there on that couch and doing nothing and kind of feeling angry about it, but not really angry enough to get off your couch and do something. That's what this song makes me feel like. The minute it gets me hyped by the end, and I love the momentum that you build up in that second half. And I'm so glad you put the second half into it because
I just got unhinged.
I could offer up my son a smoother destiny. I mean, like some of the lyrics are so powerful that second half that again, just can't wait to
I'm getting ahead of
myself.
See that live. It's on Facts on the Ground. I played that and I got to that line and I lost it. I broke down, and all of a sudden I'm like just sobbing and trying to pull through the end of that song.
And you can actually hear the sobs in the thing.
The next day I did my first time on Krish's show, on Krish Mohane's podcast. And I was supposed to play Red Pilled, and I was like, oh God, am I going to be able to get through it? And I did, but it was by the skin of my teeth. And that first night was rough. That was really rough.
Shout out to Krish. I got to meet Krish in person last Monday for the first time after seeing him on Zoom and COVID.
He's so awesome. He's hilarious.
What a sweetheart of a guy. Just terrific. Yep. So shout out to him. Also, we've got I got a message from Andrew, from A4A Andrew, out of nowhere. Just said, "Hey, what's up?" I said, "I'm actually live with Jesse." He said, well, "Hey, say what's up to Jesse." So what's up, Andrew? And I see Sleepy Josh is in the chat, and Fred Edwards here.
Oh man.
Yep, everybody popped in to see what's this Jesse Jett show going to be all about. Like, he's doing something with music and politics, and how do we harness what the hell this guy does and put it into like a formatted show? And I think we've got it kind of nailed here. Like we're having fun. We're talking about the song, and we got one more to go, and then we'll cut out for tonight.
Yep.
We're an hour in. It's good timing wise, hour and change.
Yeah.
And
perfect. So this was, I did everything on The Virus on that first record in the span of about 2 months, kind of March to May of 2020, and I ended up with 24 tracks, and I was put it all together, and I tried to kind of take a break from politics, and I couldn't. I was at that point, I was too deep in it, and it is once you know, you can't unknow. And I did kind of watch Joe Biden's inauguration from a distance and just watch everyone take this big sigh of relief for some reason and act like we'd crossed some hill and carry on. And then I'm just kind of taking stock and looking and trying to enjoy things again, and it's difficult. There's a lot of music I can't enjoy the same. There's a lot of movies that I'll be halfway in all this and I see something and I'm just like, product placement, propaganda, just like all this shit. And it's, once you start seeing it, and bless her heart, that's where my wife is. I've been doing this enough now that she's starting to see it too, and she'll be like, God, I was watching this whatever, and there was just this quick Obama thing, or there was some Ukraine thing, or just like she's noticing, and it's rough, but again, it's there. Once you're looking for it, it's there, and it's everywhere now. It's so much worse than it ever was. So this song was about trying to get away from that when you want to, and realizing that you can't. And some good product placement for Camry, really, that I'm surprised I've never gotten a Camry sponsorship.
Nice tight shot of the Camry. That's right.
I was like, how many times can I end a line with Camry? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this will be our last song of the night. And again, like I can't thank chat enough for hanging out. Oh, okay, that is dope. I can see chat super clearly now.
How you like me now?
I love it. All right, let's do another hour. Let's keep it going. This is the halfway mark.
All right. Now Jesse can see it. Nice. All right, we got that worked out. What I got to do is fix it so that half of it is the Twidget thingy that I can show people on screen. I know I made it go away for a second. Boom. Cynic, aha! But now I can't show the thing up on screen for some reason. Thing is missing.
It better being blind when I couldn't read between the lines, couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? So I try to sit down with my wife and watch TV, but I just see propaganda elevating the police in the simplest of sitcom banter, and tiny little altars full of offerings to corporate masters in every well-planned wide pan shot of the name brand stocking up the pantry. Pull back one long tracking shot out to the garage to the logo on the Camry. A nice tight shot of the Camry, close-up view of the Camry, slow pan up on the Camry, long slow zoom to the unmoving human who's up in the front with a tube pumping fumes to him straight from the back of the Camry. Ashamed he just could not provide for himself, let alone for his family. It's a blue pill mindset that spent 2020 making dance beats. I think I liked it better being blind when I couldn't read between the lines. I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. Now ignorance is bliss, which explains why a lot of us are so fucking happy. Quick to take the trip for all its trappings, never one to ask what's up, what's going on, or God forbid what's happening. A lot of us would strap into the ride and spit right in the eye of the guy whose job it is to snap your fastening. But maybe we're all born with that capacity. Maybe each of us comes standard with humor, compassion, malice, and audacity. Some of us are blind to the system, but some see it fine and say this is how it has to be. Some of us can stare wide-eyed at a nationwide human catastrophe and only offer platitudes and recipes. And God, I wish that I could tell myself nothing's worth obsessing past my everyday necessities. I wish that I could cry fake news over anything that threatened me, tune out our abuses and consume a little levity. I wish that I could offer up my son a smoother destiny. I wish I had some better lessons for how best to answer questions for the things I've been perpetually questioning. But I'm too busy looking at our leaders, wondering what I might be missing from their messaging. I'm trying to find the reasoning to let 500,000 people meet an earlier reckoning. And even though I know the truth, it's hard to swallow something that's so literally sickening. Hope is ever dwindling, COVID ever beckoning. Winter slows your breathing, but your pulse is ever quickening. No, even though I know the truth, it's hard to keep listening. I'm done with my epiphany, my innocence is blistering. I like to think I'd taste the earth before I'd ever kiss the ring. Hard to speak the truth and harder still to keep listening. Sometimes I think I miss being blind when I couldn't read between the lines. Couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry.
Dude,
And that's
just amazing. I can't hear that enough. Again, that's an earworm song. I got my lighter up the whole time. You know, I'm like hitting on mute. I'm like, should I unmute and like sing along with him? Would everybody be pissed? Would it just sound bad? Well, I'm just gonna let him go, man. This is a first show, so we're gonna do that. But at some point, maybe I'll turn off the mic and I'll let it rip too. And I've never sang on stream before, but dude, this shit inspires me. So you know, just fire is right. Charlie Mack, Cynic, Dead Plutocrats there again. So many great people in
Thank you
chat.
guys. Seriously, thank you guys so much.
You know, now we finally got it set up. So look at that nice sweet picture of Josh with Mona giving him a kiss. Say hi to Mona for us.
Yep.
We love you, Mona. And
Yeah,
Mona's
love
a
you
big
guys.
fan. Mona wanted to be here tonight too. I don't know. She's with her daughter. She was really excited for tonight. And again, I just want to thank everybody for who supported this, who put time into today.
For real.
Like we said, Big
Yep.
Mad Crab early on, and we shouted out Reef and Jimmy Sunderland today all day. She was sharing tweets
She did. Yep.
and Warren as well.
Yeah.
And of course Cynic,
Yep.
who's the super Jesse fan. Okay, we love everybody for the support. Charlie Mack for being here, and Oz popped in, and we had E. Heller, and
Thank you guys.
again, all our friends and family. We're going to be doing this every other week. I'm really looking forward to even the next one. It's going to be 2 weeks from tonight, May 17th, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on all the INN channels, just like it was tonight. This was, again, I don't really, so, you know, anything else you want to plug? Any other appearances that you're doing? Are you going to go on Misty's radio show anytime soon or anything, or?
I don't think so. I'm thinking I'm going to be getting down with Warren Thursday night.
Oh, that's right. You're
I
doing a music
believe.
stream. Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that'll
So,
also be on INN. Extra Booyah Thursday night, 7. Is it 7 or are you doing a later 9 p.m.
I
stream
think
time?
I think we're doing a late, maybe a 10. Yeah,
9
maybe
or
a
10,
9:30,
okay.
10, something like that.
Warren
So,
sent
yeah,
me
I'll
the
keep you
details.
But,
And then of course
That's about it.
Friday. So Friday afternoon. I don't know. Well, I can ask you live on air if you're going to be able to make it. But Friday afternoon is the 6-month anniversary for Indie News Network for INN. So
what time are you guys setting?
We're going to start at 4:00 Eastern, and we're going to go till 6 p.m. About 2 hours,
Okay.
and it'll be kind of an open Zoom format. We'll have a single box. Everyone will dial in, come in and out, and talk about some of the things that we've done at the network, some of the things we've each done on our channel, some of the collaborations that have happened, and some of the things that we're hoping to look forward to, over the next 6 months and into the future. So I'm really excited to have that. Just about everyone has either said that they could make it or has not responded yet. So I'm hoping that we're going to get quite a few. You know, we're up to, I think, 20 or 21 people now with Big Mad Crab.
Nice.
Now I think we're going to officially indoctrinate him this time. You know, he's kind of been floating around, and he does all the work behind the scenes, but he also has a channel. He does Spotify. He produces music. He is our creative director, as Jesse is our musical director, and Reef is our technical director, and everybody gets a silly title. So welcome to Indie News Network again. I'm so proud to be able to produce your show and to be honored to be a part of your show.
Thank you so much.
And this is just so much fun. I'm sitting here smiling from ear to ear, and everyone had a good time, and it's gonna clip up great. I think we're gonna have some fire clips for everyone, and to be able to release, and people will be able to see it on YouTube Music, and who knows where we go with this. But this was a mini Jesse Jett concert. So we had 5 songs. We had Lockheed Martin OnlyFans. We had American Tradition. We had the Autopilot spoken word piece. Then we had what's the title?
Could you Susan?
I'm sorry. What's the title of the Susan song?
How could you, Susan?
How could you, Susan? And then Red Pilled, of course. We close the show with, and that's kind of like our encore for tonight. That's awesome. And again, so we're gonna have a mini concert, and I'm gonna put out a Substack. You know, I meant to put out a Substack to everyone, and I was missing 2 links at the end. I have it all ready to go, and what I'll do is I'll put the song list in the Substack, so everyone will be able to see what songs were played, and then they can watch it right through the Substack. If they go to Substack, it embeds the YouTube stream. There's links to Rockfin and to the stream on YouTube, on YouTube and on Facebook and everywhere we're currently live streaming this.
I love it.
It'll go up to the INN Rumble channel as well. You'll be on every platform we can get our hands on, and that'll take us and won't kick us out for censorship, because screw censorship. And
We'll see how long.
And protest songs against Joe Biden are definitely not going to be fitting with the narrative. So we'll be here. That's why we're on Rockfin. Thank goodness for them.
while you can get them, everything is on Bandcamp. I've set all my prices to free the other day. So if you want an album, if you want a song, go get it. You can
Oh,
download it in all kinds of formats, and yeah, go
damn.
nuts.
Yeah,
So yeah, if
and
people want to pay more, they can. I obviously appreciate it, but the most important thing is just getting music to people. So get it while you can, and save it, and maybe burn it to a CD so that when they delete and destroy all my music and make me burn my phone and microphone, then you can still listen to it.
we're never gonna do that because I'll make
I
sure
have
you have another
decided,
microphone for sure.
if I ever get like suspended, or there's some like it's really hard for me to share my stuff, I'm going to get a mailing list, and I'm going to make cassettes, and I'll be sending out my new stuff on like monthly cassette updates to everybody. That'll be the only way to get my music in the future.
Right? Because yeah, they're gonna shut off all the gateways to the internet, and they'll cut off Spotify and all
Right.
that other
Oh man,
nonsense. I mean, uh,
vinyl, I tell you what, dude, if I could afford it, vinyl ain't cheap, but oh my God, I would love to have a vinyl press of Inauguration Gift for sure.
oh,
That would be the one.
final
But
press of inauguration
that
gift.
that artwork, and you know what? Shout out, my brother is a really brilliant tattoo artist out of Colorado. His name is Landon Morgan. You can look him up if you Google him. His Instagram is the first thing that pops up. He does just black ink tattoo work, and he designed the cover for Virus and Inauguration Gift, and as well as the cover for my doo-wop, my 50s doo-wop EP, the Geiger Age. He did that cover as well. But I told him like, hey, can you take, this state seal and turn it into like a plague doctor with a syringe and swabs? And dude, he again took what I had pictured and made it just a million times more perfect. It was flawless. So
Wow.
huge shout out to him. 'Cause his work is surreal. But yeah, those covers, I love them so much, and I want to see those both on vinyl. So,
Well, maybe one day we can make that happen too. Definitely check
right?
out. You can go. Jesse Jett's Bandcamp link is in the doobly doo in the description on all the platforms where
Speaking
we
of
are right
you,
now, and as well as yeah, doobly doo is kind of Reef's thing that I'm stealing again. And then his Twitter's in there, my Twitter and my link tree as well, so you can find everywhere that independent left news, leftist.today, the Discord that we've got, all about Indie News Network. Go to indienews.network. We're both Indie News Network members. Again, there's 20 independent content creators that have all come together. We don't take any corporate money. We're all just kind of getting started still, and we all help each other amplify. And we're anti-corporate and we're anti-capitalist, but we are again we're trying to make our way through this world and trying to get through the noise of corporate media. So we thank you for being here
yep,
tonight. We look forward to seeing you in two
seriously.
weeks. This has been the first episode of American Tradition. It's in the books, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna use Reese's other little line, which is listen to what little birdies have to say. But and we'll let Jesse. I don't know if he has anything that he likes to close things out with, but it's his show,
I don't
so
think
here you
so.
go,
No,
man.
that's it. Thank you guys. Well, again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everyone for sharing it, for hanging out tonight. I love you guys, and yeah.